We're the Sunderkids.
Sup, 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 sup.
Ayo.
Welcome back
Welcome
to
back,
Everyday
welcome
Vibes
back.
with the Sunderkids. I'm
I'm
Brittany.
Matthew,
Oh,
and we're the
we
Sunderkids.
be vibing.
And we be vibing every day.
Okay, today
But the vibes got vibey in the last week or so.
Vibes got very vibe. It was a hell of
Vibes
a
got
week.
vibey. It's been
Last
all
week
over
was
the
a hell of
place.
a year, okay?
Last week was a hell of a decade, Brittany.
It was a hell of a fucking something. It really, literally, like last night, I was so tired from the week. I mean, I had like built this whole week was
Yeah.
just a hell of a week. It felt like just a big week. And then last night was like the first night I got good sleep. And because I mean, I took some NyQuil, it kind of helped myself out. I was like, you're gonna pass out for a long time and you're
The
gonna like it.
magnesium didn't do it. You had to kick it
I
into
had
overdrive with the
kick her into
NyQuil.
overdrive. I needed
It happens.
solid like log sleep. You know what I mean? Because I've had a cough recently and it's like snuffies. Everyone's kind of getting sick at work, and it was just like, okay, this
I've had a
week has
constant like
been
clog.
enough. Yeah, and the change of pressure and like the whole weather. You know, it just felt like a fucking decade. God damn. Oh man!
What we're alluding to is that magical Tuesday that happened the last week. So Election Day happened, and Donald Trump has been elected the 47th president of these United States.
Yes, he has
another
been.
4 more years
of a convicted
Trump
felon
presidency.
and impeached president.
Yes, indeed.
Kind of crazy. Do you see the SNL skit where they went through all that?
Yeah, they're all. Oh, I'm sorry, we've never done this before. Yeah,
we've always supported you.
We've always supported you, like of course. Yeah, that was pretty good.
I love
pretty
SNL.
Funny.
God, but it was honestly like I went to bed, right? I didn't stay up. There's a lot of counting to do. Honestly, it still is being counted, right? I mean, I think they just called Arizona.
They just called Arizona, and
but
then
the majority is there.
Oh,
and you wake up and
it's a landslide.
We're in,
and it's a full landslide.
Full landslide.
There's no doubt about it.
Be honest.
My neighbor stopped me because she always likes to talk, and she was so nervous about this election, and she was just hoping and praying, obviously with Trump, obviously there's going to be a landslide for Kamala Harris. And I'm like, I hope that. Sure, yep, but oh my gosh, what I've been seeing online and the vibes that I've been getting, and I've been kind of trying to tap into that little side stream of the opposite side of the country to because over here in Washington is the only state that didn't turn blue. I'm in a bubble.
Wait, it's a red state, Washington?
No, Washington's a blue state, and it's the only state that stayed blue, though. It didn't swap. The majority of the counties did not swing towards the only state in the country.
That's insane.
I did get a couple Trump ads here or there in YouTube. But the media diet. I mean, I'm on Reddit, so that's where I get the majority of news.
Yeah.
And it does skew heavily left. So it's mainly hearing what's great about Kamala and then what's absolutely horrible about Trump.
Well, and then, every media you go on is geared towards you. So whatever we're kind of into, that's what you're seeing. And I feel like everybody went into this going, oh, Kamala's a landslide. Trump's a landslide. Like both parties
knew exactly that they were going to have a landslide.
Everybody was confident in their choice.
And that's when I knew. That's when I knew. Oh shit! Usually, if the right thinks it's going to be a landslide, oh gosh, it tends to happen. This is the first time they've won the full popular vote and electoral vote in a long time.
Wow.
Because he didn't do that last time.
The demographic breakdown, and the age breakdown, and you got to think all these celebrities came out and endorsed Kamala, and then they got Sabrina Carpenter got millions of people, at least hundreds of thousands of people to vote, new voters. I mean, these are young people, and that obviously skewed left. And then it was like this chunk of middle 35 to 44-year-olds that got a little right. And then it kind of shifted back and then it shifted up again. It was very in the middle, but just skewed in these weird ways. Like the black vote was very left, right?
Yeah.
But the Latino vote is very right. That's a lot of machismo going on. And you're kind of, you know, it's so interesting who he pulled and who she pulled.
Yeah, it's an interesting coalition that he has around him this time because the basically all of his supporters that were in the cabinet or his like inner circle from 2016 are in federal prison for various crimes.
Yikes.
And or they just absolutely do not support him. Like a lot of the generals from last time have said like, no way, Jose, and like all these cabinet members and like all these old school Republicans. So like the old school Mitt Romneys, your John McCain's, your like those guys are now like, there's now a new paradigm shift, a new political shift in American history, which is fascinating to watch. It's like, why him though? Like, oh my gosh.
Well, then you get the more of the JD Vances of the world. That's like the new young Republicans that are coming out of the woodwork, you know?
Yep.
And they're intense and very, very conservative, very old school biblical ways. And ooh,
interesting coalition because like, you know, oh man. Yeah. Interesting stuff. So
it's
political
interesting.
shift, and it kind of reminds me, you know, I'm a history guy, so Andrew Jackson was kind of this populist force as well that came from the outside from a different party and was like
he's the $20 bill man. Yeah,
$20 bill man. Yeah, he was big old hickory. He challenged over 200 people to duels.
No
like,
way.
He was a badass motherfucker.
And he won the duel. Like he had the duels.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Damn, baddie.
Like he's known. I swear he beat some senator with a cane on the Senate. Like this is not the first time this has happened in American history. Like
what
no matter
years
what,
were this?
this
What
is like
Andrew Jackson
1820s, 1820s.
All right.
So America's brand new, like 40 years since the Constitution, like 1783's Constitution time. So just real recent in that history. But like this guy, he came in and then he was the founder of the Democratic Party. He's the reason he was called the jackass, and he's the reason why it's the donkey for the Democrats.
Badass. I did not know that.
Yeah. But he was the person that perpetrated the Native American Trail of Tears and a horrible, like just wars against Native Americans and genocide. So there's that.
Yikes.
But he also was the only president ever to clear the national debt and then abolish the central bank. So with Trump kind of now getting the libertarian people too, because now Ron Paul's might be in the thing, and I kind of like Ron Paul a little bit. He's an interesting guy.
Yeah.
And he's super libertarian, and they're just fun people sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
So wait, he might get in the mix of all of this?
Yeah. So then there's all this talk about auditing the Federal Reserve, which I've always said, you know, the one way to get with ultra right person or a libertarian solidarity, let's audit the Federal Reserve. You know, it's not a government agency, and it controls the money supply that is quite clearly stated in the Constitution to be the sole right of the state. So, you know, loaning money from a separate entity is just a perpetual debt cycle.
Yes.
That is, you know, perpetrated by the Fed.
Yeah.
Which controls all the banks. So I do enjoy fucking with the Federal Reserve a little bit.
You'd like to get on into that Federal Reserve. See what's going on.
Yeah.
Let's see what's going
on. Let's peek in there.
Yeah.
But I don't want Elon Musk to be the peeker. You know, like I don't. That's the thing. Like some of these things, I can see some good coming out of some of this stuff, but then a lot of other things are just gonna get.
So please go into detail on that. So you got Elon Musk. Who else would be appearing in the situation that should not be there?
So the RFK guy, Robert Kennedy.
Yes.
So half of his brain's eaten by worms, and yeah, like legit, he said that they found worms that were in his head that had eaten some like brain tissue and stuff. He's known for leaving a dead bear carcass in Central Park and then driving around with a severed whale head on his car.
So
Over
unstable, you
state
say?
lines. Just a little bit, and he's going to be in charge of the entirety of health.
Really?
So that's what kind of the understanding is. We'll see if like they actually go through with that. It's going to be, until January. We'll see if he just like puts his foot in his mouth early, and Trump's like, never mind, as he usually is for a lot of things. But yeah, this guy would be in charge of the CDC, the FDA. So he'll bring back the raw milk. A lot of anti-vax stuff, a lot of like all this, So he's going to be in charge of health.
Interesting.
So hopefully,
I'm interested to see how that pans out.
Yeah, lest we forget, it was under the Trump presidency that COVID happened. People like, oh yeah, his horrible response actually killed an extra tens of thousands of people. But of course, COVID wasn't real. But of course, it was. Of course, it was a psyops, and of course, it was microchips. But of course,
yeah, COVID was a blip in the system.
And
what the fuck was that?
Collectively, though, I feel like people just don't remember, but then it has massive effects everywhere.
Like everything
social
has changed, but, like,
all the
it's like
all the
COVID didn't
pricing,
happen.
all the stuff, but like in people's mind, the traumatic experience of COVID. But like, I don't know, it's the weirdest thing.
It's like we've moved on, like we had a baby. It's like you don't remember that pain. You're kind of just like, yeah, COVID was
and then
weird,
now
right?
we're in the new world, and now we're in this new paradigm,
world.
and like, yeah.
What the hell?
So I mean, we'll see what happens.
Everything has changed based on COVID.
Everything has changed based on COVID, and everything changed like in the early 1900s with the Spanish flu, and that happened right at the same time as World War I, and then that was before the Roaring '20s. So we'll see, because like I mean, after the Black Death, which then killed like a third of all like humanity when it was happening, it did cause an economic boom for the survivors. Like,
did COVID cause an economic boom?
For a short little blip
spurt
there, and then it's like they tell us the media, those above say that the economy is booming, that the record unemployment, or low unemployment and record low crime, but it's hard to see official numbers like that and then walk around downtown Seattle. And if people are saying like that's how it is in like more rural even parts of the country, like I can see how a lot of people don't feel like that is correct. It's like the vibes is that it's
the vibes
things are real bad right now, and then they're like, oh no, but the numbers are good, and it's like, but like,
open your eyes.
I do have eyes. I don't know. So it's a whole interesting world, because like, I don't know. It was said that the Kamala campaign abandoned the American middle class. They didn't quite pander or set out a proper economic plan. Now, the economic plan I heard from Trump is tariffs, and then oil. He just wants to frack more.
Okay. In the U.S.?
Yeah. Which right now we are the number one exporter of oil in the world.
Are we really?
Yeah, dog. Because we frack the shit out of Oklahoma.
And Oklahoma. But then that's what's causing all those earthquakes, right?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So yeah.
Cool,
So
cool, cool,
yeah.
cool. I
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
fracking around here. There's little oil wells,
Yeah. Which
and
I just
it
don't
is
know because
crazy.
that's this like I mean we drill down to get water. Like, oh my gosh, you're just gonna be breaking up all the rock around, all this stuff and aquifers and I don't know. I think
That's
the
true.
damage can be I don't know. I don't know. But I'm not a geologist and I'm
And
not
once oil's gone, right?
yeah, but there's still a pretty good amount. But yeah, we
Okay.
do need we have gotten to a point where renewables are economically viable, but a lot of it is just still electricity. In terms of like windmills and stuff, it's all
I
electricity.
I thought
But
we always
our
didn't wanna, like, frack our own oil. We wanted to, like, import it
we
and,
want
like,
we
save
do
ours as a reserve.
well. We have reserves for sure. That's when we didn't expand fracking, I think. But we've
So then
always
now
wanted
it's
to.
just like we just want
The
more.
goal was to reduce our dependency on foreign oil.
Okay, yeah,
For
yeah, yeah.
that, you've heard that phrase before.
Yes, yes, yes.
We've kind of done it. So,
Okay. Okay,
yeah, no,
okay.
it's the best of both
Interesting.
worlds. So
Yeah.
he wants to do more and more and more in that, which in the short term gain might be good, but we got to still use those profits for long term viability. Like the Norway model of their offshore shore drilling is pretty interesting because it's like half state owned and then half private owned, and then they use all of that revenue for government programs. So they're able to
Okay.
run the government and have less taxes because they have half of the oil industry. You know,
Interesting.
it's
That's
like
good.
similar to how Tsarist Russia funded the entire government by monopolizing vodka sales. You know,
Interesting.
keep your population drunk and happy,
Yep.
and then you get paid for it. So
There
yeah,
you go.
yeah.
Russia knows what's up. I mean, Trump's probably going to him for ideas.
It's probably going on right. Yeah, they've probably already
I
had
mean,
phone
Russia
calls.
knows what's up. I mean, they've got their lives together over there.
Yeah, yeah, they are the
Completely
pinnacle
normal
of
society.
freedom and prosperity. Yeah, for
For
sure, for
sure. They have all the
sure.
human rights. I mean,
Yep,
like, totally.
everybody loves it there.
They love
Yep,
it.
yep,
Oof.
yep. It's always summer there. That's what I keep hearing.
That's what they tell us to tell you.
Yep, yep, hmm yep.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah,
So,
just that, just his, you know,
so
friendships with other world leaders. It's so interesting. I
the
mean, you
only ones that
are
like them are the dictators.
yeah. Oh my god, like, what?
Yeah,
That's not a good look for us.
but it is if you're wanting to be the strong man, because these are other strong,
Strong
strong
men.
men, that have taken control. So if he idolizes that, that's signaling what he wants to be, and that's what he has been. He
Correct.
did incite an erection, insurrection.
Erection.
You know, incites erections in a
Yes.
lot of young men.
So
It's
then it's
wild to
like,
see.
okay, this, whatever 2025, what's it called?
Project 2025, yeah.
Project 2025. So then, like, that it's
So
like
they
making a
denied
king out of a government.
in the campaign, they like officially denied having any involvement with this foundation or like having this as a policy and having a blah blah blah, and like distance themselves because the initial public backlash was so much.
I freaking
Because
bet.
it is kind of a little dystopian because I don't know where like some of those things that restrict women become like how's that freedom for them, like
Correct.
you're the party of freedom but not for half the genders,
Yes.
like
Yeah. No
but like
equality.
now they come out and say, oh yeah, it was actually for sure the plan, you know
Really? So they
so
have kinda said it.
so we'll see. Yeah, well, I mean, some
Yikes.
people in the right circles that have a platform, you know leaders in the movement, so to speak. Yeah.
'Kay. Yeah, so,
Not
okay, I
not
followed
official policy statements yet. Thank
okay.
goodness. We'll see.
I follow this like lawyer gal on TikTok, and she, fills you in on all these things. And she was talking about Roe versus Wade and how it was like an overturn of the Privacy Act, which is then used in all these other cases as precedent, right? So now
Case
that
law.
doesn't exist, so then
The
like
legal
that's what they're
precedent
gonna
don't exist as well.
yeah, so that's what they're gonna go after next, which is gay rights and no fault divorce and all these like random things. And it was like,
That they
ooh,
swore up and down that they weren't going to go after, but for sure they are.
they're for sure. I mean, like, why wouldn't they if it's like this?
Yeah.
They have, and then you get another Supreme Court justice in there.
Yeah.
And
But
you're
again,
locked and loaded.
I think the main issues, like most sane Republicans don't really give a fuck about any of the social issues. They just want to care.
Agreed.
They just care about the economics and immigration. Like those are the two big old sticking points that are the through line for conservative thinking everywhere.
And some guns and abortions in there.
Yeah. But like still, yeah, they're
mainly though
great.
economy and
yeah.
No.
And so they're easy to slip in, because a lot of them don't give a shit, or they just don't even care. So they don't notice that this is a part of the policy.
Yeah.
And then we, or people, not we, people on the left, like, because that's the only thing that they focus on.
Yeah.
And then,
yeah.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
But like, you should.
We should give a little more fucks than we do.
And yeah, I don't know.
It just doesn't feel like it affects us personally until it
does.
will. I feel like it hasn't. Like, what would change? And then you think, holy shit, if I'm not able to get birth control, if I'm not able to get an abortion, say I needed it, that does affect me. And that has affected friends I have. I know people that have had abortions. I know people have had all these medical things that they've had to question their state. Like, oh shit, this might not be a legal thing. And for that to be holy shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Healthcare shouldn't really be a legality issue unless it's like human head transplants,
Yes.
Like that should be illegal.
That should be illegal.
Human harvesting of organs, illegal. That type of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But like, my body, my choice, baby.
Yeah, and just like, yeah, it's just the baggage that comes from leaning either left or right. So I mean, I have some, like, I want universal healthcare.
Yeah,
that's like, it sounds like an easy, stupid idea, like an easy idea. Just do it, like, get it fucking done, like the rest of the countries.
Yeah,
if we do it fucking right, then you have a healthier population that then can work harder and be more productive and be better capitalists. Like,
yes,
I don't get why they're so buddy with the insurance companies. Like, I get that they're giving you money and lobbying hard, but like, just do the thing that most Americans want.
This would be way better. Love universal healthcare.
But like, that left leaning then the baggage comes from all of this perceived like soy boy leftists, blue-haired, snowflake liberal, like screaming in your face about gender identity, and like that's the cultural baggage. But with the right leaning side, you tend to have actual Nazis. and you hate to actually, like, the comparison, you're like, oh, Trump is a Nazi, blah, 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 but like, not all Trump supporters are Nazis, but all Nazis are Trump supporters type thing.
Yeah.
Like, we're not saying, like, I can understand again about immigration and economic issues.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but like, I just don't want to be on the side of the Nazis.
Yes.
of the actual real ones that have real Trump flags and then real Nazi flags. And then like I was watching a live stream from a YouTuber that I watch, and he has slightly, he definitely is right-wing content. But in this live stream chat, there's two of them plus a live stream chat from their Twitch. And it's like the only good socialism is a nationalistic type socialism. You know, and I'm like, and then the next one's like, oh, National Socialism, anyone? National Socialism, anyone? I'm like, the literal Nazis. They're literal, like National Social, like, oh my God. Like they're in the chat. they're here. They're in the chat.
They're everywhere.
Golden, and it's hard to come to terms with, because like one side's just like stupid and annoying, but ultimately wants the best for you, and we both want the best. We all just want to have a good life. You know,
you want food, you want healthcare, you want
good connections with friends and family.
Yes, and a roof over your head.
You know, being successful, like, you know,
you want basic human fucking rights.
We could all agree on this.
Yes, we can. But we are so divided. We have pushed this division, and then we've pushed towards other division.
They've pushed the normal people into then with all of the extremists on every side, you know. And it's like I feel like I'm trying to be an individual and normal, you know, and then like I'm getting pulled into and sucked into like two extremist sides.
Yeah, because everyone's like, basically a moderate, I'd say.
Most people just don't. Yes, we're all just chilling. Like you gotta,
like, don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Right.
Don't be in your face. You know, like I'm not gonna get in people's face all about any type of politics. Like, you know,
fuck that.
Fuck all that.
Yeah.
You know, but it just feels so weird.
You have your right to your opinion as well, but you don't have to shove it down someone's face. And then usually the people that shove it down your face are the ones telling you they hate when Mormons come to their door and shove their religion down your face.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Could you pull out the mirror, please? Let's
have a little self-inspection.
But again,
self-aware
the thought is not there.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, it happens on every side with everybody. And then like, oh gosh. But
and then everyone's got like a pop-off point that it's just like that one issue that triggers them, and then that's where they can go deep and hard in the paint. More division, anger.
That image of Trump with his fist up, a bloodied ear after getting shot at, is going to be immortalized
so hard
as the start of a new American empire. Like, it's interesting because there is parallels with Julius Caesar, you know.
Interesting.
Because he was a populist. So Julius Caesar got his start, and he was a consul of Rome, and he had a lot of policies for land reform, and he kept trying to get, you know, Roman citizens and veterans more land so they can actually settle after they've fought all these wars. So he takes a couple of legions and actually goes and fights the Gauls, fucking demolishes all of them, then comes back and he's like, now I'm super duper popular, let's just like, you know, do it. And he fucking does it. And then he gets into power and then just ends up, oh, I'm just going to extend my consulship an extra year, an extra year, an extra year, an extra year, an extra year. And everybody's like, this guy's serious? Like, he's trying to be a king, you know? And then they like stab him. But then the political capital that existed then transferred to his heir Octavian. They fight another civil war between Octavian and Mark Antony over who's going to be the thing. But then Mark Antony becomes Augustus, rules for 80 years, start of the Roman Empire. That western half lasts for another 500 years. You know, on average, states last about 250 years throughout all of human history. And we just did 248, you know. So at 250 for the Roman Republic, it switched to the Roman Empire. And then they were ruled by emperors throughout. They still had the Senate. The Roman Senate was still a thing.
Okay.
And still, a pull and push and pull. The same thing with monarchies and elected and parliaments, but like an actual authoritarian fucking emperor. And that's what he
is that what we're getting to? Like, do you think this is actually possible? I mean, I know like we as a people need to kind of like have a voice, but at the same time, if we put someone in power to do all this, is it just going to happen?
But like, again, straight off Hitler won the chancellorship, in the election. And then he went on to build Volkswagen and the Autobahn and look at this good things for the German people. But he also started World War II for his own reasons and then committed the Holocaust, one of the worst atrocities in all of human history. So,
so we shall see.
The apologists are like, oh, but he did so good. But it's like, oh my gosh. It was like, hopefully, like if it's Roman Empire style and it's like a new American empire, that would still be terrifying because like there's just civil wars all the time. And it becomes just straight power politics versus institutional politics. And I still think and have faith in certain American institutions and how we do it. So we'll see. This isn't the first time America's had political realignment. This has happened a couple times in the past. So it could just be a new political reality that then has to shake down for the next 60 years, 40, 60 years. So, but this is a start of a new paradigm of our political reality for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
This is like kind of a big moment.
This is a big moment. And how old is Trump?
He's 78. So he's one of the oldest elected presidents for sure. So most likely he will not last. Just given his health problems already and what they're getting from people. It might be a JD Vance.
Yikes.
Presidency. But
holy fuck.
Yikes. But at least he's a young guy. At least it's not somebody 80. I don't know.
That's true. I've
been wanting somebody young, but But like, I don't know who's going to take up the mantle because it's hard to keep populist movements going because you need a strong man leader. And then you need either like a clear successor or a rival movement. So like you'll see if like this coalition splinters for as different like political influencers try to outdo themselves with being conservative enough, or the political capital will be how conservative are you and how much you piss off the libs.
Interesting.
And like, the more you do, the more macho and in your face you are, the better the outcome is. The more self-fulfilling loop, but happens everywhere. Like I don't know. It's like I don't know. So election night, I just gotta say I had a couple drinks and I went to bed and and then woke up at 2 a.m. and then just like couldn't fall asleep. I just drank a whole bunch of water, put my feet up, and couldn't fall asleep, try to like open up my hips and drink. Yeah. And I finally look at my phone and actually Google.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah. It was shocking and not shocking at the same time.
Nobody hardly's talking about it. Everybody's just kind of accepted and just like the air around here in Seattle.
Crazy.
The air around here in Seattle is just
defeated. A big sigh.
Defeated.
It was interesting because the coffee shop is a gathering place of all kinds. And so the employees were having a pretty depressed day. Everyone was kind of like, trying to be in good spirits. And then some people would come to the counter and, you'd be like, good morning. And they'd be like, it is a good morning, isn't it? And you're like, oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Okay. And then some people, They just look at you. And like you kind of both. It was like a silent thing. And it was so interesting because like they're pulling out, people were going around that night, pulling out people's Harris Wall signs out of their yards. I mean, going
which is a federal crime, people.
Horrible.
It's
and that's
like
scary to
actual
people.
federal
Like, don't go in
crime.
people's yards. These are close to people's windows. Get the fuck out of their space.
Dude, you guys live in Illinois. They still have guns. Like,
yeah, watch out,
what the
motherfucker.
fuck?
Like, and it's just like so disrespectful. Like, everyone is literally trying to like, they're just sad.
Yeah.
Yet it's just like this aggressive positivity from the other side. It was
they were jacked. They were jacked to the tits.
So jacked.
They were jacked. They were jacked
like to the point of aggression and pulling out these signs.
Oh, they
and
were
just like
smug.
Everything's like, fuck you guys. It's like, oh
which
my
is
God,
crazy because like
sore winners. Like, what the fuck is this? You're a sore loser. Winner. You're a sore winner. I don't understand this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Woof, dog. Woof.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a sad day for, fighters of racism, fighters of bigotry, fighters of all these xenophobia. It's a sad day for women. It's a sad day for a lot of things.
Minorities. What a great day for average white males. Congratulations, Matthew.
Yeah. Unofficial.
I hope you thrive in this coming 4 years.
If I don't thrive in this next decade of my life, I will feel very ripped off by the pain and stupidity of the Trump presidencies. Like, come on. Like, I don't even like you, but if you're going to go and help me, do it.
Yeah.
Like,
at least do something.
Give me a lot of money so I can then properly give it to the right people and the right.
There you go.
Let me prosper so I can help others around me prosper, no matter their sex, their their race, their everything. Like
everything. Yes, absolutely.
Let's give money to good people. I don't know.
Little Robin Hood style.
I don't know. Sad day for compassion.
Sad day for compassion. You're absolutely right. I do have a question though. So how will this affect GME? I know these guys are billionaires and they have some money in the markets and all this shit. But
it's two billionaires, the richest man in the world,
and I mean like Elon
and a billionaire. Convinced the American public that they are anti-establishment and not elites. They are the definition. You are the richest man in the world. You are the elitist of the elite. Like, oh my God.
Yes.
But he does not like short sellers. He and Tesla had a big old problem with short sellers. So there is potential that he uses influences to take down short sellers. And
you think he'd buy into GME?
No, I don't know.
I hope not, but
that'd be crazy if he did. But he could take over half the company and then fucking take this to the moon if he wanted to. Like, easy peasy.
Yeah.
It's already has like 30% of the stock locked away. So, let's fucking go. But and if they mess around with the Federal Reserve, I don't know what's going to happen. That's going to be an interesting thing. Because again, all of the economists say that the tariffs are not going to be a good thing, and it's just going to be it's a period of chaos. This is the dawning of a little bit of chaos and flux and rapid change here in America, and that tends to be good for the markets.
Interesting. Not here today, kids.
Yep. So
the election has happened.
The election has happened.
Is nigh.
Welcome. This is America.
America.
Ciao, ciao.
For now.